And there's our... Oops. That's probably fine. There's our next piece of gas rock. Alright. Let's upgrade this sucker. And hello. Tier 4. So we have an invisibility bracelet. When you're not in Night Berserker movement, monsters will not be able to detect you for 1 minute. Using weapons cancels the invisibility field. Huh. Ant armor. So we gotta find some ants around here. A jetpack, but I gotta fight the energy master. Rebreather for oxygen. Armor potion. Advanced flashlight. I can already make the miniaturizer Mark IV. That's convenient. What about weapons? So we gotta find the black flies to get the Gatling laser gun. We also need some uranium, though. Which is probably deep down. Anything I'm close to immediately being able to work. I can almost make the ZF-0. I can make the overcharged plasma gun. Let's get that down. I'm just gonna put it over there. What else do we have? Composite metal support, composite wall. So some of the things that I'm probably looking for are going to be up here. Including like some kind of piranha variant. Might just be black piranhas. Now, seriously, how do I get up into space to get half of these things? Because, like, I want to get up to this stuff, but the, I'm sorry, that increased the strain? Putting a side support? I don't even know if there's anything else there. Okay, build another pyramid. Up here? I don't even know where to look. Like, where's the boss? Wander, do you have any tips on DMing? Don't plan. Well, no, plan, but like don't almost forgot this thing. Don't force the campaign. How did I describe it? Just keep going up. Problem is I don't have the resources to keep going up, do I? Oh. Let's start removing these. Some of these I definitively don't need. We have the overcharged plasma gun, but I put that over there. Auto Builder Mark IV. So how much of this stuff can I make? Because I can't make granite rock. I don't know where crystals are though. See, does your ship tell you where the next light high altitude? Okay. Oh right, I was gonna build stuff. So I could actually go all the way back down for some granite if I wanted to. It'd be tough though. But yeah, no, I don't know. I've been I guess I've been flying pretty hard by the seat of my pants. For most of my campaign. I think that's actually worked out quite well. As weird as that sounds. You know, my goal generally is to always make sure my players are kind of in control. I'm telling a story, but I'm not forcing them into anything apart from being in the world. I guess playing the campaign. Hi, Shell. What's up? Yeah. I am playing this game. I am bad at it. Problem is, like, I don't even know how I'm supposed to go all the way up. Underground Ocean, which is the next tier of enemies. Also why you need the rebreather. I gotcha. It was good. Yeah, we've got a lot of these, like, fly critters around, so maybe we'll be okay. Wander, do you want a hint? Yes. Please. All of the hints and then some. Let's see, has Wander realized he deactivated his armor? No, I haven't. The idea of being able to deactivate your armor at all just feels really weird to me. Okay, I should probably save. Take your town city you live in. Wait, no, that's something else. But yeah, I will gladly accept hints for this. This is one of those games where I'm not invested in it. But it's one of those where I can just as easily be kind of led by the hand into this whole thing. And not feel like I'm missing out too much. Let's see. Go down, not up. I thought... Oh. You might be right about that one. I thought I had to go up for the rebreather, but you're probably right. Okay. Okay, there we go. That should be reasonable. I'm just gonna kind of set this up. Okay. So yeah, you might be right. We probably just have to go all the way down. To get where I want to go. Okay, how do we make the rebreather? We just need sharkfish skin. Oh, yeah. Okay, never mind. I thought we had to go up for the rebreather, but I am apparently a moron. Down we go. Suck it, bats. I'm on adventures. Want nothing to do with you. Towards the pit. See, what else is it? Maps are good, but make sure the maps are flexible. If your players, like, go off script, it's going to be a problem. I've had that happen a couple of times, and I think at this point, the guys know not to, like, just leave. Because there's one circumstance where Keith's like, I'm going to leave the map, and I'm like, please don't do that. That's going to be a problem. The point of going up is the jetpack. Yeah. Oh, in retrospect, I can probably just tear this whole thing up. For some extra building materials, because I don't need to get up to that that island. It's not useful to me anymore. And this is the bridge. Don't mess with the bridge. Okay. I should probably get some more iron, but let's just go down. Gotta go down faster. Yeah. Okay, so let's go find some sharks. Thank you. I actually needed this. Yeah, it does. That's better than, I think all the times before. Shell made us, taro, which is like it's like a potato thing, but it's kind of sweet. Tastes like cookies and cream, sort of. And so we can buy like taro, not wholesale, but effectively a bulk quantity of taro. Taro powder, yeah. The actual taro stuff itself is kind of toxic. Yeah. So you generally don't want to eat this stuff, but if you like cook it thoroughly, you'll be fine. I don't think it's like deadly poisonous or anything like that. Okay. Okay, so this is where we get the granite. It looks like this place isn't permanently underwater. So, it might fill up though, we'll see. It's filling up very slowly, but it might be filling up from that one section. So if I just keep going down and we flood it out, we'll be okay. But yeah, so Shell made this this lovely taro drink for us. And, I mean, I was definitely losing my voice a little bit there. But that's not that big of a deal. Okay. Well, we did need this granite for things. I was hoping we'd find some sharks here. But I think I'm just gonna get kind of impatient for a bit. I love taro. I do too. Taro was my go-to bubble tea flavor when we were in college. We had a bubble tea place that would sell bubble tea for I mean, it was kind of expensive, honestly. You should make bobas. But so they would make real cheap, ooh, uranium. Oh, that's my own friend. Make real cheap, bubble tea. Or at least, I guess it was cheap just because we were college students and we had like a forced meal plan. Which sucked, because it was just like, you know, I would very much like to, yeah, I guess I can go over here. It looks like everything around here is just going to flood slowly. Might as well do it when I'm not underwater-ish. We'll see. And it's a purple root, sweet, almost like vanilla. Yeah. But yeah, so we just get bubble tea and it's good. But we can buy it here, and Shell can make it, and it's a lot cheaper. What other D&D advice can I give? Improv definitely is your friend. If you can fake voice acting, even if it's bad, it doesn't matter. Your players won't care. You'll definitely improve on it, and it'll help diversify like who and what your characters are, which a lot of people really, really enjoy. Let's see what else is there. Yeah. One thing that's kind of an odd point that I've been learning lately is don't be afraid to stick your party in a small space and then force them to deal with it. Like recently I've definitely discovered like my players absolutely will like respond very well to just being jammed into a very small location, and they oftentimes get really, really funny as a result, because they're kind of forced to interact. That said, not every party can handle that. There's definitely like a thing called murder hobos, which I'm assuming a number of you guys have heard about, but murder hobos they could be fun. I was definitely a murder hobo for a while. I enjoy combat in D&D, and so it was kind of fun to just be like a extra aggressive, you know, just fight everything kind of character. But role-playing, I think, tends to be where D&D shines, because it gives you this, like, world to explore and discuss and, like, have fun in. And honestly, there's so many other combat-oriented games, it's, well, It's a shame to just treat it as combat only. Yeah, reward players that do cool shit. Don't reward players that are dicks. Like if you have a player as part of a party, that is like actively antagonizing the other players, don't reward their bad behavior. Oh, crystal regrows. And the water is not filling in over here, so I'm just gonna leave that over there. I don't want the water. I don't know how much crystal we need necessarily. Except Taro Boba bribes from players. I mean, Shell has definitely gotten some of the cooler items, which she only sometimes uses. I wouldn't say it's because she bribed me. Let's see. So I can make the invisibility thing, but I don't think I care that much. Let's see, what else could we make? We need a ton of crystal and granite to make better structural supports. Let's see, what else do we need over here? Black crystals and gas rock. Ugh. Okay, so this is gonna take a little while. Let's see, do we have any pings? No, it doesn't look like we have any pings. That's okay. A lot of DMs say never do this, but every DM does it at least once. Fudge the dice when it's needed. My trick actually is to don't fudge the dice, fudge the monster. If the monster is too strong, if it's killing what is that thing? I have no idea. If the monster is killing your is like wrecking your party, then just make the monster weaker. Just reduce its strength by a little bit. Chances are they'll notice the roll, but they might not notice the they might notice the roll, but they're not going to notice the bonus change. But absolutely fudge the numbers. Rule of cool and rule of fun and rule of ridiculous are way more important than purists in gaming. Oh right, I was talking about don't reward bad behavior and whatnot, and I'm gonna kind of stick with that. I've had a number of people that are kind of that guys in D&D campaigns. You know, extensive rules lawyers to the point where they're not fun. I had a friend in, honestly, elementary school, and his brother was the DM for us for a while, just because his brother was older and whatnot. But his older brother was the DM, and his older brother, you know, was a decent DM, all things considered. But he was very much, like, anti-fun with things. They both were, honestly. They were both kind of, I'm not going to say crummy human beings, but they were definitely not the most fun friends, comparatively. They would definitely, like, kind of, not push and pull, but they would definitely kind of like throw the weight around a little bit in kind of bad ways. So I don't know if any of you guys played Savage Species. That was most definitely like one of my favorite books because monster classes are awesome. And so I loved Savage Species, and so one day we went over to their place to like talk D&D and maybe play or something like that. And his brother was like, "That's not a real Wizards of the Coast book. I'm not letting you use it." And I was just like, "But it says right here." And he's like, "No." And that just sucked. And that was kind of the last time we ever even talked to him about D&D, because it was just like, well, you are captain in No Fun Brigade, and it's more fun for me to just ignore you, honestly. And so we just did our own campaigns from then on. And honestly, at that point, they had already like moved to a completely different town, so it didn't bug me so much. But we had a number of players that were kind of like equally like equally like aggressive about like, you know, you can't do this or whatever. But they were also the ones that would abuse the rules in their favor. So I had like one friend. I've told this story before, but it'd actively make party members that were kind of. I mean, if you guys follow my campaign, think Drez, but he's actively harming the other party members because he knows he can get away with it, and it was just infuriating being around him. And my brother, who's the DM, just allowed it. So eventually, I was just like, well, seeing as my brother's not going to step in, I'm just going to make a really aggressive munchkin. Hiccups. I'm gonna make a really aggressive munchkin character myself, which I was pretty good at doing. Just because, I don't know, I enjoy making powerful characters. And so I made like this really strong munchkin character, and just more or less the first time, because this guy had already killed one of my characters, so I was like, all right, well, gloves are off. Because what his character would do is just AoE damage to everybody, and he'd be like, oh, did I do that? You know, kind of the like fake innocent, like, I know exactly what I'm doing, but I'm gonna do it anyway because I'm kind of a dick. That's how he was. And so I just made a character that like had a very high perception skill, and more or less you had to roll a really high perception skill to notice that he was doing this to you. Otherwise, it's just like, you know, your character feels worse. And so I just nat 20 spotted it immediately, and I was just like, you know, hey, what are you doing? And he like tried to bluff his way out of it, and just, you know, didn't roll very high or whatever. And then he tried to like kind of rules lawyer / like convince my brother that PvP shouldn't be allowed or whatever, as my character lays into him with, I think, about 8 arrows. I had like some kind of broken ass archer class that could shoot like an absurd number of arrows per turn. Because we were using like Dragon Magazine variants and like all of the really broken nonsense that you could like get into in 3rd edition. And I insta-gibbed his character in 1 round because his character was like frail and had like negative constitution stat and stuff like that. And I just wiped him off the face of the board, and he was really pissed about it. And he was like, all right, fine, I'm gonna just remake the same character. My brother's like, nope, you gotta make somebody new. And so I think he made like a stupid barbarian character that like actively hampered the campaign. And we loved him because he was an idiot, but he was like a lovable idiot and whatever. You remember this story. I tell it not infrequently. But it's like a cautionary tale I always fall back on, because you do not want a player like that. And so as a DM, it's your job to make sure everybody's having fun. Oh, let's see, what else is there? There's tons. Yeah, be careful what you give to your party, but obviously you can take it away if it's too powerful. I gave I guess my party a knife for like cutting through dimensions and whatnot, and and they immediately just abused it to the point where I'm like, a quasi-dimensional deity thing just shows up and takes it away from you. It should have been. Well, that actually dropped a thing. Particle emitter. I had to give Shell the sword, and she barely uses it. Probably for the best. Okay, so we need one more black crystal as well. Possibly have to go up to the previous biome to find it, though. Getting stuff around here is kind of tough. What is this stuff? Nope, too resistant. So we probably want to go up. Let's see, what else do I have? Or advice. I mean, honestly, it's kind of one of those where, like anything, the best way to learn is by doing. And there's always a bunch of other people that are just as new as you are, and just as willing to, like, learn and make mistakes, and forgive mistakes. Like, if you screw up and whatnot, most players aren't going to be too mad at you. They're just like, yep. There's also, tons of free resources out there. If you're looking to get into, D&D, pretty much every major role-playing system has a system reference document online. It might not be the entirety of the content available. Sometimes it's only, like, you know, the core rulebooks or whatever. But, absolutely look into what free resources are available instead of just immediately shelling out, you know, $200 on books. Specifically, also, like, Amazon, I think, has D&D books really cheap. From what I've noticed, as opposed to, like, going to your local, brick-and-mortar shops. Which sucks, because, like, obviously, local game stores are awesome. And actually, if you do want to find people in real life that you've never, you know, real life to play with, instead of, like, trying to do Roll20 or, like, group via my Discord or somebody else's Discord or any number of things, game stores are really good places to find people. It's a grab bag on personalities, though. That's the one, sort of. They also can be like that man-child with the Magic the Gathering tournament that threw a fit because he wasn't allowed to use his, like, special cards. I didn't appreciate him. There's a DM that gave players one use special items early in the game. Let's see. Other members used theirs, and the wizard had an orb that allowed him to cast one spell and target every enemy he could in the area. Power word killed a giant army. That's a little powerful. Gonna be straight up about that. Like, that's ridiculously strong. But I mean, fun storytelling. I would, yeah. I don't think I'd actually, like, complain about that in any way, shape, or form. That actually is cromulent. Because honestly, like, it's not fun to do, like, giant wars generally, and so just having a, like, single-use, just, like, raffle stomp spell sounds like it would actually be kind of fun. I remember hearing a similar story, but instead of something that that killed an entire army, every player got to have one magic item of, like, a certain level or less. You know, not to the extent of power that item was. And so everybody had, like, a magic bow, you know, a sword, maybe a trinket, bigger bag of holding, you name it, whatever. And one of the party members is like, I have the can of awesome, or something to that extent. And they're all, you know, kind of having the session 0 in the tavern, kind of meet and greet, whatever. And they're all showing off their special magical items, and he's being kind of coy. He's not really talking about what the can of awesome does. So eventually they wrestle it out of his hands. And are like, no, you know, you're going to show us what the Can of Awesome does. At which point, it is revealed that the Can of Awesome is a can of Cloud Kill. And kills the entire party and tavern. Because these are, like, level 3, level 5 characters. Like, not meant to be in, extensive amounts of combat. Much less, like, surviving a power word kill. Or, no, Cloud Kill, my bad. And so, yeah, team party wipe on, session 0. Which is great. I actually used to do campaigns, kind of in the same vein. Every character, every player was allowed to do, was allowed to have, like, some special feature to them. So, I think one person, their special feature wasn't a special feature, but they demanded that gnomes were imaginary, and then played as a gnome. So everybody had to, like, effectively nobody could remember his character if he, like, left their, like, view and, like, a bunch of other things. Eventually we had made a giant illusion to gnomes, and people, like, freaked out and, like, burnt the city down in protest. It was amazing. I really enjoyed that. He's saved now. That's a good point. Haven't saved in a while. Though, honestly, I haven't been too worried about death. For a game called Dig or Die, I've gotten kind of to this nice equilibrium. And now we fight sharks for a while. In hopes of getting that rebreather. Wow, that ant is coming straight for me. Oh yeah, we're on to the next tier, it looks like. We now have the shooter bees coming after me. Okay, maybe I have to care a little bit more than I thought about this. The ants are more of a problem. I was like, sharks, I can deal with sharks. But sharks, ants, and shooter bees, that's a little bit more of a it's a little bit more of a assault force. I'll be fine. I just had to kind of get away from that initial set, and also maybe just get to some better weapons. Or alternatively use the good weapon. Oh, crap. Okay. Unfortunately, the cooldown on that one's kind of tough. Let's see. We have more than 100 HP. So if you have an army of people that have less than 50, target all of them, then no. What? I'm confused. This must be in reference to something stupid I said. Oh, not Wanderbot. Wrong person. I get it. Oh, I see. Different weapons reload slower. If they're out of your inventory. That makes sense. That ant laid the harm on me. Unfortunately, these ants are just kind of coming out of... No. They're just chewing through my setup. That's what's going on. Oh, they took out my whole tower. Yep. And I have bobas for my tea. Okay, there we go. I think we got this. I might have to get the better repair stuff in the future. Those ants took out my right side tower. Luckily, I only need one. Okay. Oh, there we go. Oh, that was kind of lucky. And I immediately die. Okay, F8 to reload. Buggers are tough biz. Oh, did they wreck my repair turret? Okay, whatever. I'll be fine. Yeah, so I need some guns from this tier. Unfortunately, we're still missing some, like, important materials. Let's see, do we have any... Oh, god damn it. I was not watching my HP. Or, not so much my HP. I wasn't watching my oxygen. We need shark bits. They're shockingly rare. Yeah, this whole place got destroyed, unfortunately. Oh well. Like I said, didn't need that much. Now, do we have any shark bits around here? Because I don't think I have enough, I don't think I specifically have enough for that rebreather. I'm killing myself trying to get it. Can I make it? No. We need one more shark fin. We had them the first time, but then we died. So I gotta try this again. Anything? Nothing. Okay. I mean, I can see about making some more weapons. Or maybe let's just, scrap our auto builder. Let's go over here. I don't think we need any more of the piranha parts. We need those sharks. Unfortunately, the sharks are more of a rare spawn than I thought they would be. I was really hoping we'd be able to get some shark parts around here. Any sharks over here? No, it doesn't look like it. Some dead logs. Ow. That is a silly amount of piranhas. Looks like there's kind of some special rules with how weapon heat goes down. Interestingly enough. So, if you only fire a weapon occasionally, you almost never overheat. I mean, that's no-brainer, but I'm talking like, I'm talking like if you only fire every like 3 seconds as opposed to every 2, it never overheats. Because if you move above the 50% threshold, your gun will take a lot longer to recharge. That's good to know. Do we have anything? I just need one more shark. I've killed tons of sharks too. There's some. There it is. Okay. I just gotta get back. Get it back. And then we'll have the rebreather, and hopefully that just means I can swim forever. Oh, okay. When it rains, it pours. We get multiple. Let's get up here.